Welcome to the 2-Minute Treasurer's Tip Podcast. I'm your host, Cyndi Michael, and today we're talking about planning for major projects. Zach writes in, our group is planning for a playground that we'd like to build in the next 3 to 5 years. How do we account for that money sitting in our bank account while we save enough to pay for it? That's a good one, Zach. So you're right to wonder how this will affect your budgeting, because it will, especially if you don't have a separate account set aside for those funds. But before we go into that, first, let's address one common misconception. 501c3 organizations do not have to deplete their funds each year to show a zero net on their IRS Form 990. Groups can set aside funds for the future as long as they manage that money appropriately. So in other words, you don't have to spend everything you bring in. So if this were our project, well, I'd start by opening a separate bank account to hold those funds. That way they don't get commingled with your operating money. So next, let's say your group is expecting they'll need, let's say $75,000 to complete the project. You'll want to add the new project to your budget as a line item or a category. Now, if you already have some funds, as in real money, set aside for the playground, you'll put that number in the budgeted expense column. And then additional funds that you plan to raise for the playground will go in the budgeted income column. And since you're growing the funds, you likely won't actually spend anything. So that budget expense number is there to indicate how much you've already saved and how much you have ready to spend at that moment. So at the start of the next financial year, all the money you've raised will be added to that budgeted expense number. It will keep growing until you have enough to pay for the project. So just remember that only funds that have not yet been raised go into the budgeted income column. That's what you're hoping to bring in this particular financial year. So hopefully that kind of gives you a distinction between what goes in the budgeted in column and what goes in the budgeted out column. So there you have it. If you have a question, email me at info@moneyminder.com so I can address it. My name is Cyndi Michael, and this is your 2-Minute Treasurer's Tip for today.